Good morning, it's Pastor Stanton. This is my morning musing for today, Friday, June 18th. Yesterday, I remembered the Emmanuel 9 killed in Charleston, a church shooting you may remember in 2015, which included, and maybe you've heard me say this before, I know I did last year, but included a classmate of mine from seminary, actually. I had him in a couple classes, Reverend Clem Pinckney. Remembering that yesterday, and then also tomorrow, knowing that it is a day of celebration for our entire nation. Our nation celebrates Juneteenth, a holiday. Again, I mused about this last year, I'm sure. It was new to me, maybe not last year in particular, but I certainly learned a lot more about it last year than I had known before, being white, privileged, Midwesterner as I am. What I can say about, in a nutshell, Juneteenth is celebrating the end of all slavery in the United States. It took 2.5 years for news of the Emancipation Proclamation to get from the desk of Abraham Lincoln all the way into the fields around Galveston, Texas. And that moment of those enslaved people finding out that freedom was theirs, that moment is what we commemorate as the end of slavery in the United States. This year, just yesterday actually, President Biden signed a law making Juneteenth a federal holiday. And to put a human face on the effort to bring this day to everyone's attention, I wanted to share a story of Opal Lee. I came across an article about Opal written by Vanessa Romo on NPR's news site. It's what I've been musing about, what I've been thinking about. Opal Lee is 94. Her grandfather was an enslaved person. So, that's how intimate this whole idea of enslaved people, Juneteenth, it's a part of her story. When I think about, what my grandparents did for a living as farmers and other things that they did, like I knew them. Their story is genuinely a part of my own. As I got to watch them do what they do, I got to hear their stories about what life was like. So this was a part of Opal's story. Well, she went from being a person who had celebrated Juneteenth herself and knew that it was kind of an insular thing to her community, to deciding, I think everybody should know about the joys that come with Juneteenth. And so through her work that I'm about to describe, yesterday she stood next to President Biden as he signed the bill making Juneteenth a federal holiday into law. That's pretty cool. In 2016, so as she was 89 years old, she decided, I'm going to double down on this whole Juneteenth thing, and I'm going to do whatever I can to get it more attention, to make it a holiday. And so what she did was she started walking campaigns all over the country in different places, 2.5-mile walks to symbolize the 2.5 years it took for news to get to Galveston. She said, I love this quote, "I was thinking that surely somebody would see a little old lady in tennis shoes trying to get to Congress and notice." Of course, they didn't immediately notice as she started this big campaign 5 years ago, but eventually her walks paid off. I think it's a story, as these musings are meant to be times of reflecting on what God is up to among us. Where is God in all this? I am reminded with Opal's story of what a gift persistence is. It is so easy to give up. It is so easy to make excuses like, I'm 89. What am I going to do? I'm tired, or I'm old, or I'm just this, or I'm not enough of that. We have those voices in our heads so loud. And for Opal Lee to just be like, look, I'm doing it. I'm going to see what happens. And then to see it pay off. Persist with righteous good news, and we never know where God might take it. Keep faith alive.